1948. The Universal Declaration of Human Rights changed the way we thought about ourselves and how we treated other people.
From history books to allegories and hooks, we tend to represent ourselves by three important points of thought.
One, how people perceive us.
Has anyone ever told you you talk white? As a matter of fact, yes. I'm conscious of how some stereotype my type.
Your type.
See, where I'm from, it's legal friction, domestic charges and addiction. It's unspoken violence, unheard but felt, welt after silent welt. Sometimes incest, molestation, lifetime incarceration. No trust fund Wade, just visits from the children's aid. From working class, low class, no class, group home wigger. They kick me down to make themselves feel bigger. But this type of rhyme style and slang is part of my culture, so how can they tell me to change if they claim they're multicultural?
Two, where we came from. From the slums isn't accurate.
Nah.
From our mums is more accurate.
Word.
But tell me the stories from the journey, from the birthplace of humanity, which you can find the essence of your family tree, deep within the savanna regions of Africa. Africa, Africa, Africa. A place where I heard its beauty went unmatched into the blood of our fathers bled. Yes, into the blood of our fathers bled, saturating the soil from which they came as their bodies and minds broke like aged bread. A place we all called home until the waters of our mothers broke, bearing seeds born with shackles that could only choose around their neck, a noose or a yoke. And three, where we're at.
Her and I are equal.
Him and I are equal, not I as in I am, as in myself, as in me, but you as in yourself, as in yourselves, as in we.
But physical and social inequalities still dictate the way that people treat us.
And I know our differences need to be embraced and celebrated, respected and tolerated.
But this is always more easily spoken and implemented.
Because we're always being reinvented, reevaluated, and re-educated.
Then remembered and remanded.
Regrouped.
Reforged.
Reduced.
Reused.
And recycled. But certainly never reimbursed. Because you see this, not us. And labels never did us justice. How do you get the right answers if you're not asking the right questions?
Who do I think
you think I am? Not I as in I am, as in myself, as in me, but you as in yourself, as in yourselves, as in we.
So sister, brother, try to follow. World is cold, chest is hollow, hard to swallow. But I would find it highly unusual to visit a poor place and find a plethora of beautiful citizens just hanging like lanyards. But we have to think hard and redefine our standards and hold the Inquisition like the Spaniards, explicitly exploring things from ego to Eurocentricity. And in the end, to drop knowledge like comets, we must explore the cosmics.
Because you can't use a micro to prove that you're correct if you disregard that macro trickle-down effect. Because we are people, born of growth and time to turn in cycles, not circles, evolution. It's called revolution, and we revolve around change to find resolutions to our problems, room for discussing issues. History has taught us we have fought for it, so we can't afford not to own it now. Everyone has a Bill of Rights saying we're now paying for it.
Recognition of the inherent dignity
and the equal and inalienable rights of all members of the human family. But we don't just talk this,
we live this.
We walk this.
And I apologize, at times I get Don Cherry commentary type obnoxious.
Yeah, he does. He does, but I remind his mind to be mindful of that process of turning and pushing back from the injustice between being mislabeled and misunderstood, because you can just as easily find you've turned yourself back to where justice needs to be found. So when I'm force-fed a definition that requires I'm complicit with unfairly treating people, my intuition makes me want to scream explicit shit. I will not be defined by any assumptions, but they keep reaching for their Websters.
So they can cling to some definitions.
What? Their definition?
Nah, our proposition is this. Redefinition. I said redefinition. I said redefinition.